Hi, I'm Jorae.
And I'm Trinita.
And
this is the Fly Lyrical Podcast.
Hi, Trinita.
Hi, Jorae.
We are back.
Season 2.
Season 2, part 2, the Fly Lyrical Podcast. And we are now on YouTube. So some of you all are listening to us. Others of you are watching us. Or maybe you're going to do both. So, new beginnings, right?
I'm so excited about this. Nervous, but excited.
Yes. We want to start off on a high note. Congratulations to Senator Kamala Harris from California.
Ooh, yes.
For being the first South Asian and Black woman to be on the ticket for vice president of a major party.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I cried. I
did.
Like, you can feel what you want to.
I had real tears, like for real.
Mm-hmm. I was so excited. I shed a few tears.
Anybody who knows me, that I stand for her. Mm-hmm. So I was so touched in that moment to see her accept that. And as a Black woman, I felt so much pride and so much joy seeing her accept that nomination. Like, words can't even describe.
Not even. Like, so I remember when President Obama first ran, I felt when she accepted the nomination, the same way he did when he won. Like, I'm like, yes. I don't even know how I'm going to feel when she wins, but I was, oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed.
Absolutely. Can we get a little drink to that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Amazing, y'all.
I might want to drink the whole glass.
One of the bright spots of 2020.
Yeah, out of a lot of other spots going on.
Oh my gosh, which brings us to something else we have to talk about today.
Jacob Blake, who had been shot by the police 7 times in his back while they were holding his shirt after he was trying to get in his car after walking away from them. And he was unarmed. He is still clinging for his life, as far as we know. And so we are definitely sending our prayers to him and his family and those who love him.
Yeah, it just happened today. And his 3 sons.
Last night I woke up to the news, so it was last night.
Last night. Yeah, well, yesterday evening probably.
Yeah.
His 3 boys were in the vehicle.
Yeah.
Where he got shot. I believe they are 3, 5, and 8.
Yeah, and the thing that they won't tell, or as far as I know, when I was watching the news, they wouldn't talk about what led to his shooting or what led to them even coming after him, because he wasn't even the reason why the police were called in the first place. He was trying to break up a fight.
Yeah, exactly. But they saw a Black man, so danger, right?
Always.
I just feel so bad because those little boys are going to be traumatized,
and there's nowhere
their innocence has been stolen. Period. That's it.
There's no way around that. Whether he did anything or not, those boys watched their parent be shot, and not just either parent, but their male parent, their father. These are boys. This is their future. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the traumatizing part.
My heart goes out to him. Absolutely. And his family, and prayers. He is, like Trinita said, he is clinging for his life right now. So as of today, as the recording of this show, prayers to him, and we just pray that that he's able to pull through.
And claiming that pull through.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
We're claiming this one. And we don't get too many survivors, unfortunately, but we're claiming this one.
I'm hoping that they arrest them right after they arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor.
Please.
But, I digress.
Please.
Anyway. So moving on to brighter things.
Is it really brighter?
Yeah, it is brighter.
Okay.
It is brighter. So on Monday, August 31st.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
There will be the long-awaited Verzuz battle.
I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Now, you can tell.
I feel like a teenager again just thinking about this one.
But you can tell by how I'm about to say what I'm about to say, how I feel. There will be a Verzuz battle between Monica and Brandy.
Brandy and Monica.
But wait, did you know that they both have flyers?
Yeah, I saw.
With both of them.
Yeah, I saw
in the reverse, like how they did The Boy Is Mine.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's so petty, and I live for it. It's so great.
I didn't realize that they switched until you just said it, but I did see them, so I'm gonna have to go back and look because I was looking at them, and I just kind of was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't realize they switched them. That's dope.
Yeah,
Cute concept.
I love it. Because I remember before they were saying that they wouldn't do it. And now, I guess they've seen the benefit of it, so now they trying to get them coins.
Albums dropped. People, want attention. It's cool. It's what it is.
I mean, I'm not mad that people want it, so I ain't mad.
I'm not mad. I'm not complaining. I'm like, thank you.
At all.
Because this is one of the ones that if you had maybe Usher and Chris Brown, maybe that one. That's something I'd like to see. But this is one that I'm like, can we please?
Yeah, I totally feel like 15 again.
Yeah.
For real.
I definitely feel like
14.
14.
I don't even remember how old I was when it first came out.
I feel high school. I definitely feel high school again. So we were talking about what our favorite songs are.
Yes. I mean, I think it goes without saying The Boy Is Mine. Do we even need to say that?
That's on everybody's. It's on our list. Because
it's on their list.
It's on, yeah.
But
the song was so controversial. It actually, I feel like it made them
beef.
It definitely enhanced their issues. If there wasn't any before, because Monica has even said she ain't got no real beef with her. But that's clearly, I don't think that's true. I think there's some static between them, whatever.
I hope they talk about it.
Would that be something?
Well, I'm hoping it's going to wind up being how it was with Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, where there's some dialogue that happens in between the songs.
Yeah, but what that dialogue looks like is what I'm wondering. Jill Scott and Erykah ain't had no beef.
No.
You see what I'm saying? There was never
Erykah was high. I'm just saying.
The sister was...
She was high.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I hope they put the rumors to rest or put the beef, to rest, if you will.
I have a feeling we're going to see some shade.
For sure.
I feel like we're going to see some shade, and I feel like we're going to see some people or someone trying to rise above. That's just how I feel.
I saw a meme that said they hope Monica wear those white shoes that she wore. The ones where her feet look like boats with the straps on them. They was like, if Monica wear these, she's gonna win.
Gosh,
I was dead. It took me out.
But I like both of them as artists and for who I think they. Well, I can't say that quite. I do. Yeah, I think I like them both for who I think they are. As far as I know them, which is not much, but I love them as artists. And our. Monica's on the reality show, the T.I. and Tiny Family Hustle. Brandy, she was on a reality show some years ago, so I don't really know her persona anymore. I don't really pay attention to her now.
Her
as
Instagram
much.
videos be funny though.
Yeah,
they be a little weird, but they be funny.
I follow Monica a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I guess who I think is gonna win.
And we talked about this earlier. So I love both of their music.
Yeah.
Both of their music. It's a 14-year-old black girl, of course. I love Brandy and Monica, right?
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, I didn't like Moesha. And I understand that Moesha is a fictional character, but to me, Moesha and Brandy was the same person.
I feel like I agree with you.
Moesha was spoiled. She was mean,
bougie. She was all those things.
She thought the world revolved around her.
Yeah,
her father gave her a whole Saturn, and she was just like, Meanwhile, the rest of us was like, I will take an old Ford Escort. I can't with her.
I do. I think she was a lot like her character in real life.
I do.
I would say that.
And
if I had to assume, I would say that.
And so with that being said, I kind of was like, I liked her music, but I ain't really rock with Brandy as a person. But Monica,
she's more.
Yeah, like myself, I was kind of, into the bad boys, little thug action. So, because Monica dated C Murder.
Yeah,
right?
She
and
did.
I was a huge No Limit fan.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, Monica, she down. She hip. She with it.
She just seemed like she could kick it anyway. She seemed like she got a lot of male friends, and she's just real chill, real down to earth. She just gives that vibe anyway. She don't really trip off too many things. She, let things slide off. She just don't sweat nothing. just
like I felt for her when C Murder went to jail. I was like,
yeah, I did too, and I didn't roll with them like that, but I felt for her. Her story, like the way it impacted her. Yeah, I did.
oh girl, I was a no limit soldier. I thought I told you, like for real.
You're so corny.
I was out in the suburbs, like I really was. Like I thought I was down. So real quick, excluding The Boy Is Mine.
Okay. So
what are your Brandy songs?
Our Brandy. Okay.
Your top Brandy songs.
I have a few Brandy because again, they both have hits, right? So I Want to Be Down, of course. Sitting Up in My Room, Baby. Have You Ever? Almost Doesn't Count. And then the song we were just talking about, Broken Heart, I had to add that to my list. Because, Brandy and Monica got us through some major emotional things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. My top Brandy songs, so I have to go with I Want to Be Down, the remix and the original.
Yeah, I agree.
And I say both because the remix is everything, but Brandy didn't make the remix hype. Like, let's just be honest. It's her song, but like Queen Latifah and Yo-Yo made that song.
I agree with you. And the video. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, like the video was awesome. Like, I still crank that to this day. But the original, though, you know, like that's classic, right? It's classic. So those two, I would say Full Moon.
Okay.
I love Full Moon.
I like that song. Yeah.
Oh, God, I love Full Moon.
I didn't even think about that song.
Also on Full Moon, there's a song called He Is that I love. And I've always said, you know, when I get married, I wanted to play He Is at my wedding. I don't know if I would still do that. But when I was like, you know, 22, that was like, I wanted to do that. And Best Friend, that was on her first album. My best friend, who's no longer here. Shout out to Toy. Miss you. Love you. That was our song because we were best friends. So, of course, the song Best Friends was like our shit. So that was that.
I like that song too. It didn't make my list, and it probably would not make my list, but I like the song.
And Monica.
Okay. Angel of Mine. I thought that song was super sweet. For You I Will. This is a song to get all the sisters through every month. Don't take it personal. Yes. I remember how I felt when I realized what she was saying. I was like, oh my God. But yeah, thank you, Monica, because it helps people understand. And Street Symphony, that beat goes hard.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. To me, it does.
So my Monica songs, I love The First Night.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like that, when I tell y'all, like, you don't understand. That is my song. The dance breakdown in the video with the khakis and the little half shirts and stuff with the ponytail. Oh my God. Bomb. I still rock that in my car to this day.
I believe it.
I
believe it.
I love that. Like This and Like That.
Yep.
Bomb. Love it. That's back when Jermaine Dupri was like killing it.
He killed it for a minute.
Like, crushing it. Yeah. I think he did both of those songs for her.
He did a few, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
And of course, like you said, For You I Will. I love that. And Angel of Mine. I mean, you know,
super sweet. Yeah.
I have always felt that Monica had the stronger vocals.
And you know,
and people will fight me. Like y'all about to fight me.
I hear Facebook already because I've been watching some of the commentary, and a lot of people were saying Brandy. Brandy has the voice, but Monica has the hits. And I'm like, but if Monica has the hits, she got the voice.
I feel like it's the other way around.
And I've seen less people say it, but I've seen people say it.
Like For You I Will, her vocals on that, out of this world. And me saying that Monica has better vocals doesn't mean that Brandy's vocals are not bomb. Like,
but you know,
awesome.
I agree. I agree.
Yes,
I'm a Monica. Like I agree. I like Monica. I like Brandy too, but I think Monica got this one. We'll just have to go with that.
I'm going to be there, front and center.
I'm gonna have a whole bottle beside me.
Yes,
watching this because
it ain't gonna be wine. But I'm gonna have a bottle, and I'm gonna make sure my phone is hooked up to my TV so I can watch it, you know, live and in color. And we about to have a good time. About to get some snacks.
Yeah, that's good idea. Yeah,
it's gonna be real.
It's a Monday night.
Yes, it's gonna be real. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
Monday night.
Ew.
Wait, that means I'm gonna be here. Okay, my bad.
So we gonna have to wrap early. We record on Mondays, y'all. So we gonna have to.
I was like,
we have to do it earlier or later. I don't really know, but we gonna have to figure it out. Yes, we gonna have to do that. Okay. So,
oh boy, this one.
We are ready for the petty.
Okay.
For season 2. Let's get started. What we got?
So, Marianne Trump.
That name makes me itch.
Well, her story.
just the T word, but go ahead.
Yeah, I hate saying the name out loud, and I haven't actually said it out loud this whole term. So this is probably my first time.
Can we call her Marianne 45? I'm kidding.
The relative of 45, the sister relative of 45. So basically, so a lot of you guys may know by now that Mary Trump, who is the niece, she has written a book. I can't even remember the name of the book. Sorry, y'all. But anyways, while she was writing it, of course, she did some research. So a part of that research meant that she was secretly recording. And she got her aunt saying certain things like, you can't trust him. And that is a quote. And saying how he's a liar and he has a lack of preparation and he's basically no good. And I'm just interested in the fact, I have no problem with the fact that she recorded her. My petty is the fact that this story even released. And it was even noted that she had even said these things, because I feel like it's pointing to the whole family looks at him like he's trash.
I mean, facts though.
I was
facts.
I was talking to my homegirl and she was like, Marianne is invited to the cookout, to the family reunion. I was like, I think they're going to have their own cookout, their own family reunion, and they not invited. I don't think they
even speak to each other like that. Seriously, like they don't seem like a very close-knit family at all anyway. So
not at all.
Whatever.
But that's my petty, is the fact that the story even released in the first place. But go Marianne and go Mary.
Yeah, I'm down for it. Kudos to them. They can't come to the cookout, but I sent them a plate.
Yeah,
they can't come. They can't come now. But
they can't get the beef burgers either, or the beef hot dogs. They got to get the turkey joint and the chicken joint.
They got to get the burgers from Murray's.
Yeah.
For those of y'all that don't live in the DC area, you don't know about the Murray's burgers, but they the little thin patties that you give the kids. Not the thick ones for
with
people.
The little huggy joints.
Yes.
The little juice waters. Yeah.
And you don't get the potato rolls. You get the regular white bread. But anywho. So my petty for the week is and it's not even really, it's kind of petty, but it's not really petty. So y'all have heard a billion times over about Meg Thee Stallion getting shot by Tory Lanez, right? Or allegedly being shot by Tory Lanez, allegedly. So the other day she went on IG and did IG Live, and she came out because, it had been some controversy because she hadn't really said that it was Tory Lanez.
It had always been speculated. And It was only the 4 of them. It was 4 people who were in the car. It was her friend, his security guard, and them 2.
And him.
So nobody was talking, theoretically. So everything was speculation and rumor and theory.
Right. So she came out and was like, listen,
you know what? There was a witness.
Yes. And the witness was apparently a neighbor.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I'm about to come out and say, yeah, he shot me. Like, we just going to call a spade a spade. He shot me. She explained what happened. And the gist of it was that when the neighbors called the police, now she said they were way far away from Kylie Jenner's house. So Kylie ain't have nothing to do with any of this. But
she said she was actually 5 minutes from her own home.
Yes. So they were arguing or what have you, and she gets out the car. Tory shoots her. And somebody called the police.
She was walking away. That she wanted to make that point
walking
clear.
away.
She said, I was walking away. How was I instigating him walking away?
Tory shot her. A neighbor called the police. She said when the police came, they were very aggressive. And she knew that Tory had a gun in the car. So she's walking. Her foot is bleeding all over the place. The police are super aggressive, asking questions. She knows that there's a gun in the car. And I'm assuming that means that Tory had some things going on, or the gun probably wasn't registered or what have you. And while she has blood leaking out of her foot with bullet fragments.
But she also said because he just off the strength that he's a black man and they already had they came with that aggression. She was trying to protect him.
She was like, after George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and all that other stuff, she didn't want them to go down because she was like, yo, they could have shot him, could have shot all of us, right? And so in that moment, you're bleeding all over the place with bullet fragments in your foot from the dude that you was out with, that you have a situationship going on with. She felt the need to protect him before she told what happened. And so, you know, at some point during this season, we're going to have a larger conversation about this, but it enrages me how much black women are, one, so unprotected, and two, how we will go through hell and high water and walk over burning hot glass
to protect,
barefoot, to protect everybody, everyone else, specifically black men, and even more specifically the black men that we are involved with.
The community makes us feel that we have to do it too, though, because think about it, when the way everyone responded to her and saying that she's a snitch and why you say anything,
people was like, she was beating on him. And let me tell you something, it was dudes out here caping for Tory. She was beating on him. She like 6 feet. You ain't seen how big she is. Tory Lanez like this big. I mean, he is like this big.
First of all, I hate that argument because it stems back to, it makes me feel like, and I'm gonna say it like this, it makes me feel like with the whole police brutality, you're victimizing, you're
victimizing the victim.
Yeah, like, or you're victimizing the procrastinator or the antagonist, the person who's guilty of, like, how is that the victim? He did that to her. You know what I mean? So, like, let me be clear. The antagonist in police brutality is the police officer. When the person is innocent, hasn't done anything, they're unarmed, and they're just minding their business, trying to get everything situated, and they're fearing for their life, the police officer is the antagonist. That's what we're talking about here. In that situation, Tory was the antagonist. He was antagonizing her. He was coming after her. They were arguing in a car. She said, I don't want to argue anymore. She got out of the car. She walked away. Why do I believe her story?
Here's the thing. Everyone believes her story.
Yeah.
Why? Like, that girl don't have not nary a reason to lie. For what?
For nothing.
Because here's the thing. Lie for what?
And because they already put the story out.
They put the story out, and quite frankly, it's not for publicity, because at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, Megan Thee Stallion is the biggest celebrity. Let's keep it real.
I was like, who's Tory Lanez?
My dad is 66 and knows who Megan Thee Stallion is. Wow. He could walk past Tory Lanez 97 times and wouldn't know who he is. I'm just keeping it all the way.
I don't know who he is.
All the way above.
This is how I found out who he was. Like, I didn't know Tory Lanez was a thing. Like, so I didn't know.
So with that being said, two other points I want to make very quickly. One, you would think, Tory Lanez, that if she was willing to not tell on you, that she would go somewhere and keep you and your publicist and your team quiet and shut the hell up somewhere and be here. You know what I'm saying? You letting your team or you letting social media get out here and spin stuff, and your camp talking about, oh, she cut herself with glass or whatever. Nah, sir. No. You know what I'm saying? And also, too, you know, T.I. came out and did a video and was like, Tory, you need to say something. Like, you need to come out and say what it really was, because you letting people drive this narrative, and it's not a good look. And let me tell you something. If T.I. has spoken out
y'all know how we feel about T.I.
your treatment of women, bruh, that is a all-time low. Because he is the last person.
But he's also
the last.
But T.I.'s also code, and he's also street. And one of the codes, like, you don't violate a woman like that. That's what you don't do. And so for him to T.I. has his mess when it comes to adultery, when it comes to women. And so y'all know how I feel about him in that space, but I've never seen him violate a woman like that. You understand what I'm saying? In a violent type of way. And that's a part of the code. Like, you're just not supposed to do that.
You know, he said very
misogynist and trash in some ways, but not in
you know, he said something that was problematic. Funny, but super problematic. He was like, he was like, how you gonna shoot a girl with a bikini on? I was like, you are so basic. I feel you,
that's
though.
That's the shit that we be talking about when it comes to
you are so basic, but I feel you, though. Like, for most dudes, how you shooting a girl with a bikini on, like what's happening.
Listen,
but it's very problematic and very TI of him to say. At any rate, Tory Lanez is whack.
He's trash. He's trash. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If they're in an argument and that's all they're doing, like she's not hitting you, she's not aggressive towards you, and your first reaction or your final reaction is to bring out a weapon against, like, who are you?
Right.
Like, you're a punk anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And this is not a cancel culture thing. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, no.
I don't believe in that. I'm just not going to ever buy his stuff again. That's me.
But
personally.
I never did.
Y'all, I didn't. But y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. As for me, in my house, in my Bluetooth, in my truck, we ain't listening to Tory Lanez. And that's on me. That's a very personal decision. And
what he got out?
I'm gonna leave it at that.
What does he have out? Like, what is this? I don't even know.
He has music.
That's where we going. Okay.
No. He has stuff. I can't think of it. I feel like I might have had some Tory Lanez on my. But I feel like it was like him, like somebody featuring him.
Is he a reality TV show type of dude? Like,
no.
Is that how he came out? I don't listen. I have no idea.
I know he's Canadian,
like Drake.
So he got deported.
Did he?
Yeah, I believe he got deported.
Is that what? Whatever. He's trash.
But whatever. Also, know he's like super short.
I heard that, and that's the other thing. Like Slim,
miniature.
You're.
But whatever, y'all. Anyway,
the boy is mine.
So Tory Lanez, trash, and
trash.
Moving on. All right, y'all. We are back for Chick Chat time.
Yay!
First Chick Chat of the season.
It's a cool topic to talk about to open up the season with.
I think so. So today we are talking about code switching.
Let's start with the definition.
So, according to the Harvard Business Review, code switching involves adjusting one's style of speech, appearance, behavior, and expression in ways that will optimize the comfort of others in exchange for fair treatment, quality, service, and employment opportunities. That's the official textbook definition of code switching. Basically, it means switching up to fit in whatever space that you're in to maximize your benefit from whatever space you're in.
Pretty much sums it up. Mm-hmm. And when we first started talking about this and progressively I thought about it, and I was like, did I ever code? But then I realized I do. I code switch all the time. From talking to my mom to talking even here, you know what I mean? Like on the show and then at work or amongst my peers. When I first started listening, reading about like what does this mean? What does this look like? They use the term African American, AAVE,
the African American vernacular
English. Thank you. And I'm just sitting here looking
does that still exist?
Listen, I don't know what version of Wikipedia I was reading when I saw that, but I was like, are you trying to say African American slang? Is that what
like Ebonics?
Yeah, that's like, is that your...
I remember hearing about AAVE, but that was years ago.
That's how I read about it.
Was still a thing.
I don't know if it's still a thing. I've never actually heard of it even years ago. And I was like, this is weird. Not because I think it dismisses the idea that even throughout the country, cultures are different. Like even in the Black race, there are different ethnicities and different cultures among Black people. So we're not all the same. We don't talk to each other the same.
Right.
So I don't understand. I didn't understand where that came from.
I think that code switching, when I think about it, is twofold, right? I think that as Black people, we code switch outside of our culture. So a lot of times it happens at work, right? When you're in more white spaces, you code switch. Or when you're in more controlled spaces, right? You code switch. Even within the community, maybe if you were raised super suburban and maybe you're dating someone, that maybe grew up, in the PJs, you got to kind of code switch when you go around them because you don't want to be labeled as
possibly
bougie or, she thinks she all that. So you kind of code switch.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of tackle it from both sides of that. And also the question I wanted to ask is, do we even realize that we do it? Because I think sometimes it's so automatic that I slide in and out of that and don't even realize it.
That's what I was saying when I first started talking. I didn't realize, but then I was like, there are certain things that I would say in one space that I won't say in another. Mm-hmm. And then there are some things that I have to catch myself from saying when I'm, especially at work. When I'm at work, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a certain way I want to express myself. And think about it, even like in those emails, mm-hmm. if telling someone off was a person, like those emails is definitely code switching. Mm-hmm. Like per my last email, excuse me.
Yes, because I was going to say too, code switching is not just your speech.
Exactly,
it's
a whole behavior.
It's your lingo. Mm-hmm. It's the way you write, the way you wear your hair, what you eat, how you eat. You know, I've code switched like, you know, in my past life, as I like to call it, I did a lot of traveling. So there was constant business dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It would be certain foods that I wouldn't order, depending on the type of dinner I was in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
Like, not only because, so it was code switching in a sense of, you know, being
proper.
Being
etiquette,
proper.
Yeah.
But some of it was like, I'm not about to be the only black girl here and I'm about to order fried chicken. Like, I'm not doing that.
And I'm not eating spaghetti in front of certain people either. I'm just not going to do it.
Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, you know, I literally would be sitting around a table.
Nothing that you have to use your hands.
Right. Nothing like that. Absolutely. Nothing that's going to give me like crumbs and grease. But also, I'm the only black person here at this table full of white men and women.
Yeah.
So I'm not ordering the meatloaf and mashed potatoes. I'm not ordering the fried chicken. So I'm about to order this salmon and these Brussels sprouts, right? I'm going to order that, and I'm going to
salmon and Brussels sprouts.
I mean, but I love it. But I also eat fried chicken. Maybe I really wanted the fried chicken, but the code switch is that I saw the fried chicken.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And I'm going to impress you with this wine list that I know. Yeah. I'm not going to order the Hennessy. I love Hennessy. It's great. Hennessy, you should sponsor us. But whatever. But you know, I'm not going to order that there. I'm going to order some fancy wine.
Yeah.
Because I want to fit in, or I want to
think about that.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, you're right. There have been times when I've been dining in the presence of people that I'm not familiar with, and I would definitely order based off my company. I never thought about that. Mm-hmm. And I think because we don't think of it as, oh, let me code switch real quick. Let me figure this out, how I'm going to handle this. It's just a natural progression.
It happens so quick.
And we're taught to do it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we're taught, and sometimes we're shown. We follow example. We do what everyone in the space around us is doing, so that we, like you said earlier, so we could fit in.
And you know what? For our viewers and listeners that are not of color, something that happens in black households that you all probably don't know, our parents would say things like, don't get in here acting funny around these white folks.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Or, you know, don't be showing off in front of these white people. Like, it sounds funny now, but that is a real thing. Yep. And so when you hear that from the time you're 3, 4, and 5 years old, it stays with you. Yeah. So when you go to that job interview, or you go to, maybe you had a friend at school that's white and you spent the weekend at their house or something, you automatically, you know, you tone it down.
Yeah. I think that's a little disheartening and a little unfortunate when we think about it, because that means that who you are isn't good enough.
Mm-hmm. Or that white is right.
Yeah, and I by no stretch of the imagination believe or agree with that. I feel like who I am is, you know, you're going to take it or leave it. It is what it is. But it took a long time to get to that point. So I'm not going to say that that's an easy mindset to even have. It takes work even once you have acquired it. But what I'm not going to do, you know, or what I don't want to happen is to have to mentally change my character to fit the, you know, environment. Mm-hmm. One, carry yourself so that you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I curse in one group, and I'm not going to do it around my mom's. Facts. You know, it's what it is.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, so the other side of it too is it's also about respect. It's like, it's, you know, these people, or they don't like certain things, so you don't bring those things around them. But that doesn't negate who you are. That just means that, you know, that you respect who they are in their space, and you're going to, you know, act accordingly.
Exactly. And it also, to me, it changes your response to things. Mm-hmm. You know, so my dad is a deacon at our church, and you know from being a PK, there's a lot of code switching.
Both my parents.
When you grow up and you have parents and grandparents that are heavily involved in the church, the code switching, you come in and out of that, you become a pro.
Yeah.
And I remember at about 22, 23, I decided to get a tattoo on my lower back.
Ooh, Jay.
What they used to call the tramp stamp back in the day.
Yeah.
And I was at church one day, and this lady saw it. Like, I think I had like a jacket or a shirt on, you know, and it kind of rolled up or whatever. She saw it and decided that it was her place to comment loudly on the fact that I had a tattoo. Now, I'm a whole grown up at this point, right? A whole grown up. I was still living at home, but I mean, I had my own job, my own vehicle, all that other stuff. And when she said it to me, Saturday night, Jorae almost came out, right? Like, we were in church, and that side of me almost came out. And Sunday morning, Jorae had to be like, no.
Bring it.
Bring it back. Can't do that. Your dad is a deacon. You can't do it. So I was able to tame her down and respond respectfully. But that is a code switch, because normally I really want to be like, lady, if you don't get the whatever out my face, I wanted to say that.
That is true. When you have to hold back your response and figure out what the better thing to say is, that is code switch. I didn't even think about it like that. That is true. Yeah, but I wish you had said something to her, because some people need to understand.
And I mean, so that kind of goes to my next point. Do you feel like code switching for you has changed or evolved over the years? Because I feel like the older I've gotten, I do it less, but I'm more deliberate about when I do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, okay, I'll say it like this. In terms of work, I started off in the military. That's my background, right? So I'm taught how to behave. You're in the military, they groom you, they kind of mold you a little bit, and they tell you what you can say, like the sirs and ma'ams. I got away from that over time. One, because I felt like sirs and ma'ams belong to people that I respect. And respect is earned. It's not given just because you think you should have it, and it doesn't come just because you're in a position of power. I'm sorry,
like leaving me
it's just
out here, but it's fine. I feel like you leaving me out here, but it's fine.
Oh, because I'm not. You want me to take a sip before I continue? You know I'm gonna forget what I was saying. So there. Oh, it's so good. It is yummy.
Yes, delicious.
I'm gonna knock it out when we're done. But so I used to do the sirs and ma'ams, and the funny thing about that is I didn't even realize that it had become a part of my vernacular until my dad, because my parents never required me to say ma'am and sir. They did require yes and no as opposed to what or anything like that. So when I got out of basic training, my dad said something to me, and I was like, yes, sir. And he was like, wait, what? So that's when I started to realize. I was like, oh yeah, I did, so I got that. But progressively over time, I ended up working for African Americans, and the relationship in that space way different than working with and for white people. When my management were white people, the energy was different. But then so now that's the space that I work in. Most of the people I work in are, I keep saying white people, Caucasians, I'm not really sure, but anyways, we'll go with that. And so my behavior is different, but one, it was because I was new, but also because I'm like, I'm black, and I'm one of the few black people in this space, and I want to represent well. But I already speak proper English. Like I speak proper, so I didn't have to change that, but I did have to change my conversation topics. Like I can't talk about just anything. Like I'm not going to come in and talk about my music because we don't listen to the same music. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, over time, in some ways I've pulled away from it. In some ways I've had to lean into it.
So before we, kind of tie this conversation up in a nice little bow, pros and cons. Well, not even really pros and cons. Like, do we need to break the cycle of code switching? Because for me, I think it's more of you should act according to where you are, right?
Absolutely.
Like the at home me with my family, you know what I'm saying? Like I can walk around, in front of my family in, the sweatpants with the permanent mustard stain on them that won't come off and a big t-shirt and, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I can do that. I can, talk with my mouth full and, eat the food with the crumbs and the grease and suck my fingers and whatever. I can do that. But I'm not going to go into a business meeting or meet with a client.
That's why like even now with COVID or social distancing and we're at work or I'm working from home, I have to put on my top with my pajama bottom. I do that every single day because my morning meetings, I'm basically getting up, putting on a top and my pajamas. Like it's just what it is. But do I think we need to change? I think that you need to remain authentically you and fit into the space that you are. So I think you need to pull from whomever you are and bring what's accordingly. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think changing is the appropriate or the thing that we need to focus on as much as just making sure that you're truly who you are and you're fitting into the space at the same time. Like I can be Trinita without cursing. And I can be Trinita with cursing. Like it's the space, it's the environment, and just be mindful of, and so I'm basically saying don't stop, just be authentically you. Like sometimes you could tell a joke, break up the energy in the atmosphere, I feel and make people know who you are.
I feel like Jorae is on a spectrum, right? And
absolutely.
So Jorae at a 5 can pretty much go anywhere, right? But some spaces require Jorae to be on a 2. Okay, like it requires me to tone it way down. I'm still me. Sometimes, not often, it requires me to be on 10 because somebody took me there. But nobody should ever be able to say, "Oh, that person is fake." No, you're still you.
That's my point.
It's just tempered up or tempered down. Like it's just
that's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. And not only that, but just like here's the other side of it though. Just like you're going into the space, respecting the space that you're in, you go in commanding the respect that you deserve. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So it's not about this like I keep going back to the language and the slang and things like that. I will not use that at work, but I am a professional, and I feel like whether you're black or white, there's a professionalism that needs to happen, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna tell me how to wear my hair. If I can't wear my hair a certain way, we're gonna have problems. We're gonna have to have a conversation
because that's taking you off of your spectrum. Exactly. You're no longer between 1 and 10.
Exactly. And I have to. So even though you need professionalism, and I need comfort in some space. Discomfort, because we already working with discomfort to an extent because we're going through growth and change and all that other progression and all of that stuff. So if I'm dealing with that, then I afforded myself the right to be comfortable in who I am 100% of the time. That's just what it is.
Absolutely.
I've seen people brand their businesses based off of, and it's interesting that I'm saying that, but I've seen people brand their businesses off of code switching but in their comfortable space. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or they bring their audience into their space as opposed to you reaching into the audience and making them and being who they expect you to be. And I think the authenticity of that is what makes your brand better, and it'll help your brand grow a little bit more.
It'll help you appeal to more people. You know what I'm saying? And I want people to see all sides of me. So I want, people who are super bougie can appeal to my super bougie side, because
I have a little one. I have a little bougie side.
I mean, yours is smaller. Mine is
pretty
little,
big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. But the ratchets can also appeal to my ratchetness. Yeah, because I have it. It's there.
You have a big ratchet side too. You have a big bougie and ratchet.
I mean, I do. You know what I'm saying? And people can appeal to that, and I think that that's part of my charm. But at the end of the day, no one will ever be able to tell you, oh, she's fake, she's phony, or she act different.
Every day when you walk in your house, you should be able to say, I was who I truly am, no matter what space I'm in.
And there you go. I mean, it drops Mike.
I never. That's one thing that I challenge myself to do, is to never have to question. Do I know this person? I shouldn't have to look in the mirror and say that. You see what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. I need a moment for Anita moment. When Jay and I were beginning to think about what we wanted our business to look like, one of the most important things we had to assess was the brand. Interestingly enough, we realized that building a brand is very similar to building character. The authenticity of who you are starts in the beginning, and it comes from within. As we evolve as people, we do realize that who we are can and will change. And with that, we must constantly and consistently take the time to reassess, go within to make sure we are okay with our course. That responsibility is yours and yours alone. Your tribe or your village around you can help keep you in check, but the root of your honesty belongs solely to you. If you listened to our episodes last season, you heard me speak about me getting in the mirror. I do it for several reasons, and I do it all the time. But I challenge you to do the same thing. Get in your mirror to make sure you check yourself. Self-awareness is one of the strongest signals of self-love. Doing the work to make sure you are your best self and you are honest with yourself, no matter how difficult that may be, is the single most important gift you can present yourself with every single day. Let me tell you something. There have been times when I've made decisions that I wasn't proud of, but what I can't do is not acknowledge either the truth in that or the fact that I'm going to move a certain way regardless. In time, this turns into accountability and positions you to be responsible for your actions. I'm telling you, the honesty will bring about a guilt that will wreak havoc on your conscience until you either right your wrongs or do the work to become better. But I believe in us. I believe we deserve to be our best selves, and we owe it to ourselves to do that work. So build your brand. Make sure it is authentic and honestly you, so when the world sees who you are, you know it's your truth.
All right. So this week's Queen's Quote comes to us from the beautiful Miss Halle Berry. I picked this quote because I don't know if you follow Halle on Instagram, but she is out here living her best life. She is, on skateboards, barefoot, going down the street, all kinds of stuff. I'm loving it.
Swimsuits.
So the quote from her reads, "What's the worst that can happen? If it doesn't do well, I can put on my big girl panties, deal with it, and move on." And so this quote really speaks to me because this is how I've been trying to live life in 2020. And quite frankly, this is how 2020 is actually forcing me to live. And I'm still learning. I fail sometimes. I don't always succeed. But at the end of the day, it's like, listen, it's going to work or it's not. It's really just that simple. I had someone tell me once, stop striving for perfection and strive for success. And so many things that I've wanted to do in my life, whether it's with my career or education or starting this business or other businesses with the podcast or what have you, I've, over-researched and, asked people and took classes and did all of this stuff to prepare so that when I executed, it would be perfect. And quite frankly, the shit still wasn't perfect. And I still had to go back to the drawing board and relaunch and rebrand or redo or revamp. But it's like, I could have done this 3 months ago instead of waiting. And now I had to do it anyway. Whereas, try it, see what happens. If it doesn't work, go back to the drawing board, so that's really it. I just want to kind of leave that with you all as we kind of go into the last quarter of this year. All the things that you've been waiting to do during this quarantine or for this whole year, just jump out there and do it. Put your big girl drawers on. That's just it. Just do it and see what happens. And that's all I got for y'all today. That's it. So we have a new segment of the podcast. Each week we will be doing a small Black business shout out every week. They're going to be from a myriad of different types of small businesses. And we hope that you will support these small black businesses. That's funny. Small black businesses. And they're everybody from friends and family to just other businesses and products
that we just think are dope.
Yeah, young people, all of that good stuff.
Yeah. So
you want to give the name of the first one that we're going to highlight of the season?
The Underground Labs.
The Underground Lab.
Did I put an S at the end of that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Lab.
So for those of you that don't know, if you follow us on Instagram, you've seen us tag the Underground Lab, but the Underground Lab is our production company. Yes. So they've been producing our podcast from the very beginning.
Fabulous work.
Yes.
We've been impressed every step of the way. I like them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we want to encourage you all to go to their website.
Yeah.
theundergroundlab.com.
Yes.
Follow them on Instagram at TUL Movies. And if you follow us on Flylytical Podcast, we have them added and tagged
plenty of times.
Yeah, in a lot of our posts.
Yeah.
And they do podcast production. They do movie and video production. They publish books. They're coming out with original content. They also do photography. So whether it's photo shoots for your business or your brand, mm-hmm. or, your sister-in-law, baby cousin Tracy baby shower.
Yep.
They do all of that.
And if you follow us, you'll see some of the photography work that they've done as well.
Absolutely.
I'm so excited about that.
Yeah. So, please, y'all, go check them out. When you do, tell them that the Flylytical Podcast sent you.
Yes.
We're letting you all know right now, all of the businesses that we highlight are going to be businesses that we have used, mm-hmm. still use, support. We vouch for them. We're not going to be, scouring Google, pulling up businesses that we don't know.
We have had direct communication with these people. And we fully believe in their product and their service and their customer service. And that's what that is. Like, I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned till next week. We're going to be highlighting some other folks. And, that brings us to
the end of our first episode.
The end. Episode 1, season 2. What?
Whew. That was a good episode too.
Yes, it was. It was. So you have any, you want to give our social media handles and any announcements?
Flylytical Podcast. So you could find us, of course, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And of course, if you're listening to us, you know that. But you can also find us on Instagram at Flylytical, FL2YSLYTICAL podcast. And you can also find us on Facebook with that same name.
And YouTube.
And on YouTube.
The Flylytical Podcast.
The Flylytical Podcast.
Yes.
Comment. Let us know what you think below.
I've always wanted to say that.
I've always wanted to do that.
You have any other announcements?
So, I have a project that I'm going to be launching, and I need your help. So I'm going to be I have an Instagram page called Eat Healthy DMV, and I am looking for some healthy eating opportunities, whether it's just a meal or an entire restaurant or just a recipe that you want me to try out. Hit me on my DM at Eat Healthy DMV and let me know what you think or what you want me to try, and I might post it on my page.
Awesome. Yeah. I heard about those vegan buffalo wings that you had.
Y'all listen.
I want to try them. I want to try them.
Listen. I don't even know what it was made of, but it was so good. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this again. And it tasted just like, I was like, it tasted like chicken. I was so surprised. And it had the buffalo sauce on it too. And then they used a little stick. It wasn't even like, they made a drumette and whatever they did, it was good. I liked it. Yeah. So it was a good idea.
We have to make that a date. Yeah. We have to go do that.
Absolutely.
We have to go do that.
Absolutely.
So in other announcements, as if I am not busy enough, your girl has decided to launch a new podcast. So in addition to this one, I'm not quitting Flylytical. This is still my thing. But yes, y'all, the Melanin 360 podcast.
I can't wait till you launch.
The Melanin 360 podcast will be launching in just a few weeks. And the show will be full of your girl, Juan, me and my friends and colleagues, and we're just going to be...
Can I be a guest?
Yes, sure.
I'm just putting her on the spot.
trying to make herself a guest. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's just going to be just me and my homies, and we're going to be talking about and having conversations about how to move through 2020 and how to, be a boss while sprinkling some melanin.
Yep.
Wherever we go, but don't worry, we're going to have a good time. It's not going to be super duper serious. Okay. There's going to be laughs and jokes as well as information being given. And y'all know I'm good for pulling out a good old thug tear. I'm going to have it come down, but, in the meantime, follow me on Instagram at _melanin360 and also on my other page, at I am Jorae. If you're not already following me on there, please stalk me on the social media. And we're going to have lots of content on Instagram and YouTube coming soon. There may or may not also be, some makeup situations happening as well. So I'm excited about what's to come.
I forgot my other IG handle, which was my original, which is 3.nita, 3.nita. Yeah.
Yes.
That's my personal. So follow me there too.
And if you want to email us at askus@flylytical.com.
Yes.
And I do believe this is a wrap.
It's a wrap.
So thank you guys, and like, comment, and subscribe down below. Peace. Deuces.